two CDM formations are getting a lot of talk around the community. Obviously, the 4-2-1-3, the absolutely hated formation. And that just seems to work due to the fact that it's a new formation, especially two CDM formations, very OP right now because they actually track the runs. They defend in the box when your opponents are attacking you, and essentially just very OP, man, especially if you do what I do with this formation. So let's get into it. I know you're thinking to yourself, how can I improve my FC25 experience? Look no further. MONOEXP has the best, cheapest coins on the website. Best price, best guarantee. Use the code META for 8% off, bro. You can get literally any card. Go check them out right now. With this formation, kind of very similar to the 4-2-1-3. This time you just got your cams, which can play shadow striker, so you can actually have them a little bit more centrally, as opposed to the inside forward with the wingers. Now, it can be OP, bro. The thing is, it can be very OP, so let's get into it. Hit the like, subscribe, man. Check out MMOXP indeed. And I will leave the pinned comment. You will check the code. Don't just copy and paste, see what I have to say. I also play a match with this formation. So yeah, as you can see with this formation, right now, as I said, very similar to the 4-2-1-3. This time you've got your two cams, out and out cams, and then you got your one cam, which you've always had. Now with this one, what I like is you can actually put your cams as your shadow strikers, which basically makes them a little bit more central, if that makes sense. Because as a shadow striker, basically when you attack, they essentially kind of come in a little bit more to the central liking. So you got Maradona, which is basically your roaming, so he can basically play as a roaming wherever the ball is type of player. And then you got your two cams that can play as your like playmaker type of vibes. Now I've tested and trialed out certain roles for them. I felt like the shadow striker for me was just a little bit more potent when it comes to you know, attack. So yeah, we've got the likes of the formation being obviously 4-2-3-1 narrow. Now this has been a very statement piece formation. Everybody has been using this formation in past FIFAs. They always loved it. I myself included, man. I always loved this formation, but it was always a very stagnant, very defensive, boring formation, and it was actually very OP, similar to the 4-2-1-3. But I feel like this year, not a lot of people are using it. Obviously now post-patch they will be using it because it has the two CDMs. But yeah, we've got build-up style being balanced because you do your build-up style, especially if you have your defensive line so high. You don't really want anything else, you know, to be out of position and stuff. So you want your build-up style to just be at least in that natural position. You basically trigger the runs, and then you have the press with the 95 line height. What this does is, essentially, it's like the 4-2-1-3, man. Everybody has been using the 95 line height, so I was like, might as well add it to the 4-2-3-1, because it's a very similar formation to the 4-2-1-3. A lot of numbers right there, but hopefully you guys are with me still. So what I'm trying to say is, with regards to this, it's kind of like the 4-2-1-3, where you got your two CDMs, you've got your players basically staying intact in position when defending, and then pressing when needed. So with the 95 line height, absolutely like basically triggering the offside runs firstly, and then also holding down RB, obviously R1 on PlayStation, to press the players alongside 95 line height. Yeah, it's very OP, bro. Very OP. The difference between this one though is with the, so we're getting into the roles now. With the 4-2-1-3, right? I actually had my fullbacks on defend. Now, if you look at this, how it's looking right now, you'll check. There's not a lot of width when obviously defending. Now, that's the only issue with this type of formation. You will see sometimes you can get caught on the width, but I feel like what actually counters that is just having your fullbacks unbalanced, as opposed to the 4-2-1-3 where defend focus actually helps much more. Now with this one, what I like about it as well, for some reason my fullbacks actually get more involved in this formation. I think it's because of the linkage between the cams, because they kind of come back a little bit sometimes and then they attack when they need to. You know, even Maradona sometimes also comes to collect from that side. And that's what I'm trying to say is, I will get to him, but let's jump over to the goalkeeper. We've got a goalkeeper defender. I've got Allison. I used to have the main man, goated Ramsdale. However, I've got alone Allison. He does the job. Whatever works for you, man. If you want to use him as a sweeper keeper plus, if you want him to come out, then by all means. But I feel like completely up to you what you want to choose here. Yes, it's completely subjective. Now, with the fullbacks, as I said, balanced and fullback, because you kind of want to so interplay a bit with your fullbacks, but it's actually a nice inclusion of them. Because sometimes they attack, sometimes they defend. But sometimes I felt like if you do see gaps in your fullbacks, which I said in the start, then simply just put them on defend, focus. Easy. It's going to be a little bit more defensive, but you won't really get too much chances on the width. It's not a bad shout though. But But overall, I feel like fullback balance just works. It is a nice balanced option. 2 CDMs, very OP as I said. You got your 1 deep lying defending player. So this guy actually stays in that CDM role and sometimes branches out when he needs to, but not necessary, if that makes sense. So someone like Çalhanoğlu, sometimes I see him pushing up past the halfway line, and then you can see his AI basically pushes him back. So I'd say for your more defensive CDM, someone that's a little bit more brolic, more stoic, what's the word, like a little bit more physical, you could say, he needs to be a deep lying defend playmaker player. And then you got your holding defend. Now you could actually say someone like a deep lying playmaker could be your player that goes forward, because if you look at here, you've got, obviously I've got Oberdorf right now. She has the holding plus and defend. What I like about this card is she's small and she basically intercepts everything, and she's so small to the point where it's not lanky, you know, so she can turn and she can move. And also if you check the heat map, so that's why I have her on holding defend. Some people would have a taller player like a Vieira here or Essien, that's relevant. They'll have him at a holding defend. But I felt like someone like a Kante, you know, someone like a Oberdorf, someone like a De Jong even, for instance, works wonders at this holding defend position, because essentially they very quick and they've got the agility to at least maneuver their way past and actually get to the players alongside transition. Does that make sense? Hopefully making sense. Now with the cam, what I like about this guy is Maradona, very fast, very pacey, just lacks the physicality. But if you have someone here that has a passing playstyle plus firstly, or a dribbling one, it helps so much in terms of transition and getting the ball and going forward. That's all you want him to do, is basically get the ball, go forward easily, bro. You don't want him to defend or anything, but what I like about him as well is he acts kind of like a CM at times when you're defending. So he drops a little bit back. As you can see, his heat map drops a little bit back. Actually acts as a cam, natural cam as well, and then also acts as a striker when he needs to be, so he can play as like a CF. What I like about Diego Armando Maradona, has the skill moves, very swift, very you know, agile, low center of gravity, bro. Someone like a Messi, best version of him, would be ideal in this position. Also with the passing would be nice. But I love Maradona in this game. He's a beast. Playmaking role with roaming. I always like that one. I used to use it on my CM for the 4-3-3-4, and it just makes it seem like the card moves so effortless and, like, you know, gliding on the pitch, kind of like a Zidane in real life, you could say. So yeah, playmaking helps in terms of the assists, and then roaming helps as well in terms of just getting to where the ball is. So you could call this card like the free roaming player. He basically goes where the ball is. And then we've got our 2 cams, which is the Shadow Striker plus. This is a very important one because essentially they act as, you could even say RF, Aleph, or Ram, Lam / Aleph, RF. It's OP, trust me, bro. Just use it. Attacker, Shadow Striker plus. And if obviously they have the plus, it helps so much more. And then Zidane, I love Zidane because he's so versatile. You can essentially play him anywhere. Now, what I like about him in this position is he's got the physicality to struggle with players. Now, he doesn't really have the pace. That's the issue sometimes. But one area I think compensates for that, because I always attack down the right-hand side. So it doesn't really matter that much. But yeah, we've got our striker always on advanced forward striker. Not really much into it. Just to have the plus, it helps a lot. So let's jump into a game. I'll showcase how good this formation is. And yeah, let's go. Very first team. Okay, we know it's not a 4-2-1-3. Yeah. Oh, I actually need to change controllers. Goddamn. Beautiful run from Waneri inside the box. And then we do score our very first goal. Lovely stuff from Onana. Always in that position at the right time. But I don't really want to milk the formation too much. But you could see there, man, in terms of the Lam and Ram, they were just like basically gunning inside the box. Like a Lam and Ram, which was nice. Now notice how Zidane was back there. Quickly transitioned into that run. As told you, man, they sometimes come back, which is nice. Beautiful stuff from Zidane. We've got a beautiful run from the main man, Tevez. Man said Tevez, I mean Maradona. Why did I say Tevez there, bro? But yeah, he was working beautifully to get that ball, you know, kind of going where the ball is, and essentially Onana is at the right place at the right time all the time. I'd say for your striker, right, you naturally want someone that's a little bit more taller. So like Mbappe does work, you know, a little bit more lanky, but to the point where they're at least compact, not too lanky, if that makes sense. And you want someone with a lot of pace as well, because it's essentially your main striker. So yeah. Oh, beautiful stuff from Maradona, man. Beauty, beauty, beauty. Now, you could actually play Maradona as the shadow striker as well, Cam. I just feel like it'll clash a lot, though. That's the issue. So that's why I like him at the roaming playmaker, because he essentially gets where the ball is, you know? I've been saying that, but yeah, I have to kind of, you know, embed it in your heads. Very nice interception from Obudov. See, she's everywhere, man. She's everywhere. And we do score our 4th goal. This guy should be gone, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Now, some people probably ask me in the comments, like, Mike, what about the 4-2-1-3? Oh, sorry, 4-2-3-1 second variant? Obviously, that one's also good because it essentially has 2 CDMs with, you know, the option of having the wingers as well. And you can always add them as the inside forward. I just feel like that formation is a little bit too stagnant for me. I like my cams, you know, cutting in, moving very nicely and swiftly, and basically playing all in harmony. So essentially it's like with the left mid and right mid, they just isolated, bro, if that makes sense. Decent goal from this guy. I don't know if he's thinking he's going to come back. I have no idea, but yeah. Oh, nearly a exquisite run from Onana right there, and we do get a pin. Now, it also goes to show how quick in terms of counter-attacking the formation does. Very, very nice. So yeah, wow, this guy only decides to quit at bloody 78 minutes, bro. Nonetheless, we beat the guy 6-2. Formation is sound, man. Any 2 CDM formation just works wonders for me, in my opinion. Yeah, we're nearly closing in on that elite. I haven't played as much rivals, that's why I'm not in elite yet, if anybody was to ask. How can you showcase formations when you're not in elite, Mike? Calma, bro. Tranquilo. Nonetheless, though, that is the formation. Tell me if you're going to use it. I will catch you boys in the next one, man. Have a sweet one. Peace.